Good morning, friends. Prepared Suburbanite back at you. Well, I took the weekend off and got quite a lot of work done around here. Got the solar panels relocated so that they're in a lot more direct sunlight. Tested them after I had to uncouple all the solar connections and put them all back together and tested it to recharge and all that. Works just fine, but it's really getting the maximum amount of sunlight that I can arrange for it here with this wooded area that I live in. So, and I got quite a lot of grass seed put out in this area that I just cleaned up around here, and built my wife's new raised bed, and we got it filled with trash and junk at the bottom, and come next year that'll come into the rotation as a new raised bed. We've got a few things going on in the garden. The green beans are just now starting to really pop, and we've gotten a handful so far this last couple days. The peas, the early peas that we put in have pretty much gone through their whole cycle, and over the next couple of days we'll be taking the pea plants down and replanting some more peas for later this summer. Our tomatoes are seem to be lagging a little bit behind, and I'm not quite sure what's going on, but there's a few plants out there that are starting to bear some green tomatoes, and but it's still, the early part of June, so we've got another month and a half or so before I'd really be too awful concerned that we're going to have a pass or a fail on this year's tomato crop. The rest of the stuff, the leafy greens and the plums on the plum trees and all that, everything's going just fine. Well, here's what I want to just opine about today. Do you think there are two systems of justice in this world? Stick around. Well, I think there is only one system of justice, and that belongs to those that wield the power. So if you're in power in Washington, D.C., or in your state government, and you are a Democrat, then you don't see that there is anything amiss about what's been going on. Looking at what has been going on, obviously, you all know that Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies last week in New York State, and that really does kind of put a damper on quite a few things. Now, will it be appealable? Sure it is. It was, I think, rigged. It was totally made up, a farcical kind of an attempt to take a timed out misdemeanor and turn it into a felony rap brought by the state on federal charges. Just in that should be enough. But I didn't see that the Supreme Court volunteered to step right in. So the Trump legal team is going to have to push this to the next legitimate level, which I think would be the New York State Supreme Court, to see if they can get a judgment ruling there. And if they fail at that step, then they can take it to the Supreme Court. But what's going on this week is the Hunter Biden gun trial. I guess we'll just leave it at that. He filled out a 4473 and basically lied on his application. For most of us, that's a very serious criminal offense, and it's generally punishable by 10 years in prison. And there are, I'm sure, a few people sitting in prison right now that answered that question about are you on drugs while you're applying for this permit to purchase a handgun. Um, there are some folks that are doing time right now for that. But um, Hunter Biden is a Democrat, and it's being tried in a Democrat state in Delaware. And he's got some pretty powerful friends and family in that political arena there. Yep, we've got a jury, we've got the whole 9 yards. What I'm afraid is going to happen is that they will figure out a way to get this charge dismissed, to get it reduced to some level where it's not punishable by anything, maybe just a slap on the wrist. But I don't think we're going to see Hunter Biden getting convicted of this. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he really gets the fullest extent that the law is allowing for this kind of a flagrant violation of our gun safety rules. But there are some movements right now that are saying that this whole nonsense about having to fill out an application to apply to get a gun is unconstitutional, that it smacks up against everything that the Supreme Court has recently ruled on, and that if certain of those cases find its way up through the courts, and the Supreme Court decides, you know, you're right, this is a violation of Bruin, we'll have to see what effect that has on this Hunter Biden decision that may or may not take place this week. So is there really two systems of justice here? No, there's just one, and that one system of justice favors the Democrats, it favors the leftists, and it is entirely pushing against everything that conservatives hold dear. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this crazy nonsense, but those are my thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. And if you found anything thought-provocative in this video, please give us a thumbs up, share it where you can, and never forget, be prepared always. This is The Prepared Suburbanite, and I'll see you on the next video.